It is time. It is time to brew your best beer. Brought to you by Beer Greens Supply Company, BrewTubers Online Brewers Club, Brew UK, Panhead Brewery, Tanner Ritchie, Finney's Homebrew Emporium, Brig Selv, Hackney Brewery, Hashigo Sake, Mangrove Jacks, Sprig and Fern Tavern, Yakima Valley Hops.
Alright guys, we're doing another review here. This one is a Hoppy Red Kilt Riser. It is number ch138us. So I do know who brewed this one. This is from Christian Clements. Not too much of a hiss. See some bubbles coming up. Nope. Pretty sure this is bottle condition, so okay. So right off, we got a nice cat meowing. Fuck you, cat. Wow, really nice deep red color, like blood red, but like aortic blood. The really red stuff, not the dark red. Yeah, good. Got some carbonation coming out. No real head to speak of, but this is a 10% or 9 something. 9.3%, 50 IBU. Let's take a sniff. Okay, you got a lot of malt, some slight kind of hop aroma coming up. But the main thing is kind of like hop sweet or malt sweetness. I don't know. I didn't look at the ingredients before I judge this because it gives me false impressions. Alright, so I'm going to get this beer judged up. I just tasted it, but yeah, so I'll get back with you. Okay, yeah, so been tasting this beer for a little while now. So I'm going to revise the aroma a little bit. I kind of get like a darker aroma. I said with some citrus hops in there, but it's pretty slight. Some toffee notes, quite a lot of caramel, like a caramel taffy, and maybe a slight alcohol on the nose. But no off flavors in the nose at all. But it's dominated by the malt sweetness, which I think is a Hoppy Red Kilt Riser. So I'm assuming he's kind of thinking it, he's kind of judging it as an Irish red type of a deal. So like an Imperial Irish red is what I'm going to guess. So on the flavor, the caramel is definitely the biggest contributor. Caramel, like toffee, sweetness. That actually dries out pretty good. I'm willing to bet your final gravity was relatively low. But yeah, it has some alcohol. You can taste some alcohol in it, but it's hidden quite well for a 9.5%, almost 9.5% beer. It is hidden quite well. I mean, this could really sneak up on you fast. I think they call it a Hoppy Red Kilt Riser. So I'm assuming it's like a Hoppy Irish Red or a Hoppy Red. I would call it an Imperial Red, which I'm not going to ding him for it because he does say Imperial. So I would call this like a Imperial Red Ale. There is some hoppiness in there. You can taste some bitterness, but it's not overly hopped. I don't think that's what Christian was going for. So I think he did nail what he was going for as far as the hops versus the caramel sweetness. It's a sweeter beer than it is, say, hoppy, but it is obviously a very large version. Yeah, so it has like a medium body, which I think it has a medium body, but it's not a cloying type of a body either. Definitely sweetness, but it dries out quite well. I've said that twice. Pretty good carbonation, I think, for style. It is on the low end of carbonation. If this was like, say, an IPA, I would say that it was undercarbonated, but I think this carbonation level works good with this kind of a sweeter, higher alcohol beer. So good carbonation. And my overall impression is, I think this is a great beer. I'm not getting any off flavors at all, which says a lot about any beer that's brewed on a home. There's so many little things you can kind of mess up. I think anything that could be improved on this beer is not in the process so much as maybe it is in the recipe. I think if you're going to call it a hoppy red kilt riser, or a hoppy red, I think it could do more hops. I think you could do maybe more dry hopping. But if you're just going for an imperial red, and we're kind of nickel and diming here, but I feel like I have to complain about every beer. So I'm going to say something negative about every beer, no matter how good it was. So I think this beer would be good to brew it again and see, maybe bring down the alcohol to 8%. I think would be right about where an imperial red could be, and still be a big enough beer to have that kind of big beer, kind of bold flavors. But yeah, there's no off flavors, there's no diacetyl, no DMS, nothing like that. It's if I bought a bomber of this, I would say it's a great bomber, So, anyways, Christian, really enjoying the beer. Cool label, of course, and yeah, so I will get this thing judged and put online. So, all right, guys. Well, another great homebrew from the BrewTuber community. Cheers.